Hey, and I'm back. Right now, I'm just going to kind of cover about everything about the recruiting interview that I learned in the Jamberry leadership classes, and I found it really, really helpful. So basically, recruiting interviews, they're 20 minutes long. And what you're going to do is these are great to do as in-person interviews or Skype interviews or however you want to conduct your business. One thing about recruiting is you really want to work with people on their level. You want to relate to them on their level. If you're working with a professional, you want to present yourself as a professional. That means your image. Maybe, you come, dressed a little more like a business professional. You always want to connect at the level that people who are on the receiving end, you want to connect with them, connect on their level. If you're dealing with a mom, you might be a little more casually dressed, and it might be a different environment that you're meeting her in. So you always want to relate to your recruit. Okay. In person is always really going to be the best. The more personal forms of sorry, you can't really see me. My phone's plugged in. It's going to die on me, so I have to chop my head off in this video. Anyways, so personal contact, face-to-face, videos, in person, it's really awesome. It's the best thing to do. Skype videos if you're not local. Creating that personal connection is always going to give you a better chance at a sale, whether it's recruiting or whether it's selling something. So that's why I'm also encouraging everybody on squad to do videos in their parties, videos of anything, style box, whatever, you name it. So this is what the recruiting interview is going to sound like. First thing is you open with a plan and a layout for your meeting. So basically, that's me saying, hi, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. So this is what's going to go on at this meeting. It's going to be 20 minutes long. I'm going to, we're going to talk about what we're going to, discuss. I'm going to then, ask some questions about you. I'm going to share a little bit about myself. And by the end of the interview, I'm going to ask you, if you're interested, if you think Jamberry is an opportunity for you, or if you think that it's not an opportunity for you, or if it's something that you think it might be, and I'll have to get back to you. It's really important to let them know the layout of this meeting, and that in fact you are going to ask them about their interest level by the end of the meeting, so that you don't feel awkward at the end trying to find out. And if you go into it with this plan and this layout, it's a lot less awkward and a lot less scary. You always have to go in for the ask. You're either going to look for a yes, a no, or a maybe later. And if it is a maybe later, you're going to set a date right then and there to follow up with them. But you're going to put that in their hands. So you're going to let them choose that date. And if they say no to you, it's a great opportunity to ask to book a party with them, or to just say, you know what, maybe you could keep me in mind and refer me to people who you think might be interested in buying jams, hosting a party, or maybe in the jam opportunity. And if they say maybe, again, you want to follow up, ask for a date range, and kind of tell them, listen, I don't like to chase people. I don't want to waste your time or bother you. What would be a good date? So that way I'm not inconveniencing you at all. So that's kind of what you're going to do. It's pretty simple. So you're going to open, letting them know the plan layout for the meeting and letting them know kind of the time frame of what it is. You're going to sow a seed of compliment. You know what? So you give your layout and then you say, hey, Melissa, I really think you'd be a great candidate for Jamberry. You really seem to love the product, and people who love the product usually do really well with Jamberry, and you just have this excitement, and I think people would love to party with you because you're just so much fun. You just want to build them up. Again, most people just don't have self-confidence. That's why they don't join, or they have fears or doubts that they're just not good enough to do it. So it's your job to instill that confidence and let them know. So that's a great way to start off the meeting, by letting them know how great you think they would be. After sowing those seeds of compliments, you want to ask about them. You want to ask questions. You want to keep in mind the personality testing we talked about. Listen. This is the time to really listen to them and see, what type of personality are they? You know, are they someone who needs all the facts? Are they someone who just wants to know how this affects their family? So you want to listen. You want to find out what they're looking in an opportunity. And then when you kind of pick up on those hints, and they might be subtle, you want to relate it back to them. So for instance, you could have someone who is really just sunk in debt, and they're like, you know, I don't know, I'm on the fence, I don't have a lot of money, I'm concerned about paying for the kit, and, you know, my husband doesn't like me to pay for jobs. I mean, why should I pay when you should be paying me, you know? And I would just say, okay, well, there's my hint. She needs money. And her husband, you know, is obviously money conscious. So maybe they're tight on money. Maybe she needs to make more money. So I would turn that into a segue of saying why Jamberry is so great, because it is an opportunity. It might be the answer to her prayers to make money and to wow her husband. My husband is a believer now, and he was, you know, he let me do it, but he was a skeptic. And once he started seeing my paychecks, he's like a Jamberry cheerleader now, which if anybody knows my husband, that's just crazy, just crazy. So you want to find out, you know, what it is that she's looking for and relate it back to her in a way that shares your testimony in a way she can relate, in a way that will meet her needs. How is Jamberry going to meet her needs? That's really what it boils down to. So really just be a good listener and keep in mind her personality type when relaying that information back to her about how Jamberry is going to meet her needs. And also too, when you share your testimonial, which you definitely want to do, testimonials are always encouraging, even if it meant just paying for groceries. That's just a bonus. You're getting paid to have pretty nails and you're getting groceries. What's better than that? So you want to use your testimony and enhance it to relate to her need. So you're going to try to take your experience, your positive experience, and relate it to her and to what she's looking for. And after listening, you know, find out why they would be a great fit for Jamberry and what it could do to meet their needs. So basically you're just, again, reiterating, this is why I feel like you'd be great at Jamberry, and this is why I feel like it can meet your needs. You're going to kind of close with that. And then you just let them know, you know, do you have any questions? Let them ask any questions, answer all their questions, ask if they have any fears, help destroy the myths that, you know, people have, like, oh, I don't have a lot of friends, I don't think I'd be able to have parties. Listen, that's just not so. It branches out so quickly that it doesn't really matter. You know, things like that. And then at the end, like you have already told them, so you don't need to be nervous, you're going to go in for the ask. You're going to say, so, you know, now that we've had an opportunity to talk about this, are you interested in joining Jamberry? Do you think it's a good fit for you right now? And is that a yes? Does that look like a no? Or is it a maybe? And you'll get an answer from them. And if they are kind of like, well, all you have to say is, you know what, it sounds like right now it's a maybe for you. And what is a good date for us to touch base, because I don't like to chase people and I don't want to inconvenience you. What's a good date for me to touch base with you? And maybe you've had more time to think about it. That way there's nothing left up in the air, no uncertainty, and she kind of knows you're talking a little bit business, and, you know, and she's going to respect that. She's not going to see you as someone who just, you know, is a Mary Kay junkie or whatever. You're running a business, you're working your business, and that's going to even pique her interest even more, because people who take their direct sales businesses seriously are respectable, and people just want more of that. They'll want more. So that's what I would recommend. These recruiting interviews are a really great tool. It just kind of breaks it down on, you know, things to go over. And again, if you have the opportunity to do a personal one-on-one or Skype or something where there's a personal connection, I highly, highly encourage it. So hopefully this has helped you. So for the giveaway, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to comment below in the box. Actually, it's not a comment. I want you to give me your own interview on paper. And as you can see, I have mine from when I did my class notes, and it's just a breakdown of my interview. And I have 20 minutes, open with a layout, sow a seed of compliment, ask questions about them, my testimonial, you know, some different things, ask questions, and then go in for the ask. I want you to just write a summary about your recruiting interview, and I want you to post pics below, and someone will be entered for a really awesome prize. And also, in addition to that, I want to know what your DISC personality is. Maybe you've already taken it. If not, it's free on Google, and it's fun. It's fun to learn about dealing with other people, and you kind of have to. If you're in sales, you're gonna have to either way. So you're doing yourself a favor, and it helps you learn how to deal with other people in recruiting, which is awesome. And it's good to know if you want to be a team manager and you're just working with people. So I want a screenshot of your recruiting interview, and I also would like your self-assessment for the DISC personality test. So when you put those two things in the comments below, someone will be entered. No, you'll all be entered, but someone will win. I'm sorry, it's like midnight and I'm so tired. But there will be a winner. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has helped you. If you have any questions, comment below and I will definitely help answer them. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out.